Hi guys, okay, so what I want to talk to you about in this video is my unexplained experiences. I was going to say ghost or spirit experiences, but I'm a very, very skeptical person. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts and spirits. I won't say I don't, but I don't necessarily believe in them. Honestly, the whole area terrifies me. I know that there are quite a lot of pagans online that talk about paranormal stuff. Personally, like obviously paranormal and pagan have nothing to do with each other. However, there are a lot of people in our community that have an interest in paranormal things, just like there are a lot of people in other communities that do too. Personally, paranormal stuff is not an interest of mine. It never has been. If I'm completely honest, it absolutely scares the crap out of me. I'm not really into this stuff at all. I don't know anything about it. I've never done a video like this before, talking about stuff like this, because I really have nothing to say. Like, I know nothing on the topic. And I'm always kind of scared to make a video on this kind of thing anyway, I think, because in my eyes I always think, like, what if this like ghost or presence or whatever it is doesn't like being spoken about, and what if they see it as disrespectful and then it makes the problem worse. So it's not something that I ever really talk about. And strangely enough, I've actually seen today that Alison from Avalon Moon has posted a video on her channel. I think it's the first one, but it's Ouija boards, and in that video she says that she's gonna talk about paranormal stuff. So it was interesting to see that we were all kind of talking about at the same time. That was a total coincidence actually though, because I've been watching a lot of Charlie Says Go videos recently, and I've been watching her Haunted Doll series, and it's kind of inspired me to talk about a couple of things in the past just that I wanted to share with random people. But at the same time, I then had an experience a few days ago, which is what kind of was the cherry on the cake, icing on the cake really, for what I wanted to share. So I will share the most recent experience first. My boyfriend's house, his housemate swears is haunted. Ben, my boyfriend, always says, oh, it's not haunted, you know, blah blah blah. He laughs at his housemate and says it's not haunted. I've heard noises there, his housemate has heard noises there. His housemate is convinced that he's heard a man and a woman laughing. Ben will just say, oh, it's the neighbours. He brushes it off, he doesn't think it's anything. When I've been there, I've heard stuff too, and up until this point, because it's not something that I'm really interested in and I don't like the idea of it, I would love it to be the neighbours. I've kind of rationalised it to myself, which I think you do, especially when I'm in the house by myself, because I've spent a significant amount of time, like whilst Ben's at work and his housemate's at work, in the house by myself. So I have tried to rationalise it to myself and stuff, and I'll just say, oh, it's the neighbours. Well, generally, when you're in the house, if you're upstairs, you can hear the neighbours when you're upstairs, but you never ever hear any noises from downstairs. When you're downstairs, you can hear noises upstairs, and I mean the noises are directly up above, which is actually my boyfriend's room, which is really, really creepy. And this is when there's no one else in the house. This is when it's just me in the house and there's nobody else in the house. I can hear people walking about in that room, and I'm not sure if it's just one person, because it's a lot of footsteps, and it's not light either. It's like proper like shuffling stuff around, like moving stuff about. So that kind of creeps me out. But again, like I said, I just rationalised it that, oh, it must be the neighbours, and you know, maybe they're right at the corner of their room, which is right there, and it sounds like it's in this room and stuff like that. And then the other day I had a few weird experiences, but I brushed them off because it was before like my big experience. The first one was, I was cleaning the bathroom, and I had the bathroom door open, and the bathroom is literally just off the kitchen. Like, you have kitchen, go through one door and you're in the bathroom. And I got the bathroom door open, so I could hear there was a drop in the kitchen, like a loud drop. It didn't sound like a smash, but it sounded like something heavy had dropped. And I'd just done the washing up, so I thought maybe, because I'd taken the plastic tub out of the sink and put it outside, so I thought maybe something had fallen off the drying up board into the sink, like, and made a loud clash, and there was nothing in there. And apart from that, the only thing I could think of was it was something hit the floor, but there was nothing on the floor either. So I just kind of let that go. I thought maybe something's fallen and I haven't seen it, but I couldn't find anything. And that was definitely in the kitchen, that was not the neighbours, it was right next to me. And then a few minutes after that, I tried to come out of the kitchen to go into the living room, and the door was really stuck. Like, I had to really shove it for a few minutes, and it was not budging, and then all of a sudden it was absolutely fine. And again, I didn't really think anything of that at the time, because the night before, they'd had, I don't know what it was for, could have been for the iron, but there's a cupboard in the living room, and the cable goes along the floor, and if you're using that cable, then the door does get stuck. So I didn't think anything of it at the time. I thought, oh, it's stuck on the cable. The cable wasn't actually there, which I hadn't noticed until later, so there was absolutely nothing for it to be stuck on, but I didn't notice. Anyway, then, I don't know, an hour and a half later, I was sat in the living room by myself, no one else in the house, just sat on the sofa watching YouTube videos, catching up on YouTube videos, and this literally scared the living shit out of me. Like, I've got goosebumps telling you now, it's horrible. It was just absolutely horrible. Somebody came running down the stairs. Okay, to make this, try and paint a better picture for you, I was in the living room, and the stairs are just off the living room, so where the living room wall is, here's me in the living room, where the living room wall is, the stairs are directly down that wall. There is no gap. And at the bottom of the stairs is the door to the living room, there's nothing else there. So I had that door between the living room and the stairs wide open. And I literally heard somebody, like a fully grown man, like a heavy somebody running down the stairs. It was absolutely terrifying. I got off the sofa at the speed of light and ran the fuck up the garden. Like, I was absolutely shitting myself. I have never moved that fast before in my life. I was so upset I couldn't even cry because I wasn't even functioning properly. Like, I was just in a proper state of actual shock. I was convinced. And the thing is, at the time I didn't even think, ooh, ghost. At the time, I was convinced there was someone in the house, like a fully grown man in the house, and if I hadn't got out of the way, I was going to see a man at the bottom of the stairs. Like, I was convinced. And it scared the absolute shit out of me. Unfortunately, I was in the back garden. There is no way out through the back garden, so if I was going to run away and escape, I'd have to go back through the house to get all of my stuff, and then to the bottom of the stairs where the front door is. So that wasn't really necessarily a good plan of mine, but I really was absolutely shook up. I eventually, probably after 15-20 minutes, I went back into the house. I got the laptop and I got my phone, and I left all of the doors open so that I felt safe, and I came out and I sat in the garden for about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, until Ben's housemate got home, and that was only when I come back in the house. I was absolutely petrified. It was just, I've had, like, I'm not going to be able to fit them all in this video, I'll have to do it in another video. That's annoying. I've had, I don't want to say ghostly experiences, I've had weird things happen to me before. Nothing I would necessarily say was paranormal. Oh, actually, a place I used to work was supposedly haunted, and it was actually quite big where I live. Like, people would come in all the time and ask if they could do seances and stuff. Like, I'll do another video on that, I guess. If you guys are interested in this topic, I'll do another video on that. But, what was I saying? Yeah, I've never really had any major ghostly experiences, or something where I've been convinced 100% that it was paranormal. I've always had stuff and it's been a little bit weird, but I'm very, very sceptical, and as I said, this isn't my kind of thing. I'm not interested in communicating with spirits or ghosts. I don't really like talking about it very much. I don't want to believe in it. I don't want anything to do with it. It's not my thing. It really, really upsets me. It doesn't sit right with me. It scares the crap out of me, and I'm really, really happy that stuff doesn't often happen to me. Even when I say, like, spirit guides, communication with spirit guides and stuff, oh, I'm gonna have to do this in another video. But generally, like, I don't see people, I don't see dead people. It's just a feeling that I get and ideas that I get. But if I was to see somebody, it would scare the living crap out of me. Anyway, I'm going to have to cut this off because I'm recording it on my phone, so thank you for watching my video. If you want to hear more about the paranormal experiences that I believe I have had, and a couple of other interesting things with the paranormal stuff, I'll make another video. So that was my ghostly experience. I hope everybody's well, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bless you.